It's Sunday, August 1st, 2021. So it looks to be official. The rent moratorium has expired. And we all have to ask ourselves, what does this mean? To me, it means reality has come. The rubber is meeting the road. People now are going to be in jeopardy. People now are going to be homeless. People now have very, very big decisions to make. I was just looking at some stats earlier today. 144,000 people in Florida are at risk of eviction. 357,000 households, rental households in Florida, are currently behind on rent. And I can't even imagine what that number is here in California. And we all have to ask ourselves, what happens if this economy closes down again? What are people going to do? People that don't have the luxury of putting a roof over their head, what are they going to do? If they close everything down again, where do these people go? What are they going to do? Right here in the state of California, we have till the end of September before the rent moratorium expires. I believe that's the same in New York and maybe a couple other states. Homeowners are also going to have, I believe, till the end of September before the forbearance, these mortgage forbearances begin to expire. And we have millions of people in mortgage forbearance right now. What if these people cannot go back to work? What if they cannot refinance their mortgage because they've been out of work for over a year? They've been laid off. What if they can't make up, let's just say here in California, a mortgage, $3,000 a month, and they've missed 15 months? $45,000 in mortgage payments that they're going to have to make whole. That's $45,000 in mortgage payments in order to make the debt whole again. What if they can't do that? How many people right now today can write a check for $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in order to make the debt go away, to make them whole again? These people are going to have big decisions to make. I believe that many of these people are going to be forced to sell these homes. And now, as these evictions will take place, landlords are going to begin putting these properties back on the market. They're getting out of the landlord business. We're going to see a flood of inventory coming. This is going to push prices down. So people who thought that they had X amount of equity in a house, what happens when prices begin to go down? And heaven forbid, we begin to see a housing collapse start, then all of a sudden you have no equity in a house. Many people could be upside down. So here we are, August 1st. Looks like it's official. The rent moratorium has expired, and millions of people now are in very, very big trouble. The party has ended for so many people. And look, there are people out there that did not want this to happen. They would have chosen to just continue to work, pay their bills. But there are millions of people out there who chose to do the opposite. They were making more money while on unemployment with the benefits and the stimulus checks, the 400, and I think California pays $450 a week in unemployment, plus they were getting $600 benefit checks, plus the $2,000 and the $1,400 stimulus checks. So benefits, stimulus, unemployment. People were making more money staying at home, producing nothing, manufacturing nothing, creating nothing, and yet they saved no money, decided not to pay their landlord, went out and bought a new car, bought a big screen TV, and now reality is coming, and these people now are going to be in very, very big trouble. Look, there's a lot of good people out there that chose to try and do everything they could to pay their bills. They wanted to go to work. Those jobs are gone. They had no job to return to. This was no choice of their own, but they're in trouble too. But a lot of people put themselves in this situation. They chose this situation, and now they're going to pay for it. Their credit's going to be destroyed. I can't even imagine what the courthouses are going to look like beginning tomorrow. look, evictions are going to start within 30 days. People are going to start getting evicted 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days. A year from now, this whole thing is going to flood the court systems here in America throughout this entire country. People's credit will be destroyed. How will they ever get back up on their feet? And look, we're looking at a possible closure of this economy again. We're looking at wages being cut. We're looking at hours being cut. We're looking at inflation running rampant now in America, the price of everything going up, and most importantly, food costs. What are these people going to do when they're working 18, 20 hours a week, if they're even working? The government subsidies are going to come to an end. They've been evicted. Their credit's destroyed. This is beyond my pay scale. I have no idea. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Congress is sitting, while all this is happening, Congress is still sitting on billions, tens of billions of dollars. And they're not helping the landlords. They're not helping the renters. And when you look at this, it almost looks like some kind of setup, doesn't it? That they promised all these renters this party. You don't have to work. We're going to pay you more to stay at home. Don't worry about paying your landlord. We're going to protect you. And now it's lights out. We're at the dead end road here. It's game over for millions of people, and the politicians are not going to save them. The politicians are not going to help them. This is why you must be dependent on yourself. This is why I tell people daily to make sure that you have a cash reserve. Make sure you have some gold and silver put away, some food put away, money put away for a rainy day. And let me tell you, the storm, the tsunami here has arrived. People are going to be in huge trouble. The small landlord, the small renter, the tenant, the landlord, everyone in between, everyone's going to be in trouble here. And I think that we're going to begin to really see big trouble from all this arise in the fall. It's just beginning now, okay? The courthouses are going to be flooded. It's going to take time to process these evictions. But I would estimate that by October-ish, this thing's going to be in a full-blown disaster regarding evictions. And we're going to see, I believe, a real uptick in homelessness and food shortages, people's food insecurity, people and their kids not getting enough food. It's going to be a disaster. If you don't have really, really good friends or a family to fall back on right now, you're going to be in big trouble. So the next question is, what and who is going to absorb all these rental properties? We're going to see defaults on many of these mortgages. Who's going to absorb these foreclosures and all these properties, these rental properties that are going to hit the market? Well, of course, the bank will absorb the foreclosures, and more than likely, BlackRock, Blackstone, Vanguard, etc. Many of these big investment companies, this institutional money, will probably either get a call from the bank or they will call the bank, and they're probably going to buy it all up. Hundreds of homes, thousands of homes, neighborhoods of homes at one time. They will plop down a lot of cash money. They will borrow money for next to nothing from the government, and they're going to win, while millions of Americans are about to lose. You know, if they call up the bank and buy grips of these houses, the bank's going to go, look, we don't have to pay an agent 5-6%. We don't have the holding costs. We don't have attorney fees. The bank eliminates a lot of the risk. We don't have property sitting vacant while people vandalize them. So the smartest thing for them to do is just cut bait and sell to the BlackRocks, the Blackstones, the Vanguards, etc. And that's more than likely what's going to happen. So look, you know, like they said, you will own nothing and be happy. This almost looks like a setup, though, doesn't it? And now, you know, they've gotten millions of Americans to buy homes into this massive bubble. And when it bursts and these people are upside down, when they lose their jobs, when everything they have is in their homes, in the stock market, and all of it collapses, these people are going to get absolutely annihilated. But the BlackRocks, the Blackstones, the Vanguards, the big hedge funds, the foreign investment money, they're going to come in and gobble this stuff up, pennies on the dollar. And this is how I'm thinking. This is how I know many of you are thinking. Be your own central bank. Sit back, be patient. The sales are coming. So what's really behind the war on home ownership? Somebody sent me this article earlier today, and it's titled, "What's Really Behind on the War on Home Ownership?" And it goes on to say, Vanguard, BlackRock, other major investment firms are buying up single-family homes. Even before all of this, they've been doing this for the past few years. They're buying up single-family homes in record numbers. And they're even buying entire neighborhoods. And for the past year, you've seen them buying at prices 10, 20, 50, 100% above listing price. They don't even care. They have money to burn. They pay well over market value, pricing families who want to own those homes out of the market. So while things were closed, while you couldn't go to work, while you couldn't go to your favorite restaurant, while you couldn't go to certain retailers, you could go to Costco and you could go to Walmart, but you couldn't go to the small mom and poppers. You had to stay at home. Many people in fear of even leaving their homes. Well, while that was taking place, you had all this institutional money, the Vanguards and the BlackRocks coming in and buying up neighborhoods while Americans were losing their jobs, while Americans were too afraid to leave their house. Millions were and still are right now reliant on the government for a check. Millions who have gone back to work, have had their wages cut, their hours cut. Many are still unemployed, and the benefits are running out. The unemployment money is running out. And now people are going to be evicted by the millions. And look, we still have over 2 million, 3 million. We don't even know how many homes are in forbearance. The number changes daily. We don't even know how many people at this point are facing eviction. We don't even know. More than likely, the numbers are higher than what we're being told. But while people's wages are being destroyed, rent is skyrocketing, mortgages are skyrocketing, yet the BlackRocks, the Blackstones, the Vanguards, they're buying all this up because you're going to own nothing, okay? And if you do not think like a central bank right now, if you are not saving, if you are not protecting your wealth with some gold and some silver, you're going to own absolutely nothing. Your cash, look, I believe you got to have some cash, but you better protect that cash with some gold and some silver. It is being eaten alive by inflation. We're going to see a lot of foreclosed properties coming to America. We're going to see a lot of landlords sell these rental properties. They're getting out of the business. Heaven forbid we see another closure. These landlords know it's very possible this fall or this winter we could see the economy close down again, and they could be right back in the same predicament that they're in right now. They are going to be rushing to the exits to dump and unload these properties. And the same starving hyenas from 2008 are going to be scooping up millions of properties. They're going to be buying these rental properties from these landlords. They're going to be buying these foreclosed properties from this moratorium when it expires. These hyenas smell blood. There's going to be a lot of sales coming, ladies and gentlemen. There's going to be a lot of blood on the streets. This is just the beginning. Just the beginning. When this stock market collapses, the housing market is finished. We are going to see interest rates in America, I believe, begin to rise in 2022. And I know there's people out there laughing at me right now. Okay. Same people who laughed thinking that an entire economy couldn't close down, but it did. Not too funny, was it? Global economy shut down, right? It couldn't happen, right? Laugh, laugh. Yeah, here we are. Rates going to zero, that could never happen. Federal debt, $28.4 trillion, that could never happen. Everything they laugh at and tell you could never happen has already happened. Interest rates more than likely are going up in 2022. What does this mean? It means you're going to see the housing market crash. you're going to see the stock market crash. This is just the beginning of the end, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I believe, this is just me thinking out loud what I'm doing. I'm saving money. I'm buying assets like gold and silver. I'm putting some cash away because I know what is coming. We're going to see a lot of blood on the streets here, ladies and gentlemen, financially. We're going to see some really, really big trouble here. So again, when this happens, what's going to happen to millions of people that didn't buy assets, didn't buy some gold, didn't buy silver, didn't put some cash away, didn't pay the debts off, went out and bought a new car that just got repossessed, didn't go back to that job that they thought they were going to go back to. What is going to happen to all these people? You need to be thinking about this because you do not want to be a victim of this. If you have a job right now, if you have an income right now, you need to be preparing. It is too late now for millions of people. They're done. They are victims. And they're going to have a very miserable road to haul here in the next coming year or two, okay? They're going to be literally living in a nightmare. It is too late, okay? They don't have a job. They spent all their money on cars and TVs and fashion. They saved nothing. And now reality is coming. It's here. Now, what are they going to do? They have to go back to the parents' home. What if they don't have parents? What if they don't have family? What do? The same people who laughed at those people living on the streets, sleeping in the tents, there were people actually judging those people, laughing at those people, blaming those people that it was their fault. And yeah, for some of those people it is. They have mental disorders. They chose to do drugs. But I'm going to tell you, there's going to be a lot more people choosing to do drugs because a lot of people choose to do drugs when they have nothing left to live for, when they lose everything. People are going to lose their families. You're going to see massive divorce. You're going to see massive drug addiction. You're going to see suicide. You're going to see spousal abuse. You're going to see a lot of things explode here in America, and most of them not going to be good. The hedge today, we spent like never before. U.S. saw a record drop in poverty last year as 7 million jobs disappeared. Isn't that amazing that poverty is disappearing with jobs? I mean, this is the fantasy land we're living in. While plenty of aid helped keep families afloat, many spent their money on televisions and illegal narcotics. People are going to get what they ask for, ladies and gentlemen. Catherine Goodwin, in this article from St. Charles, Missouri, managed a group of trailer parks which paid her $33,000 a year when she was working. She received food stamps, tax credits, and tax aid for a disabled child, which raised her total income per year to $52,000, only in America. Without expended assistance, Goodwin would have seen her income drop to $29,000. The past year, she hasn't worked. She received $25,000 in unemployment benefits, $12,000 in stimulus checks, increased food stamps, and other help. Her income grew to $67,000, almost 30% more than she had made with her job. She said people that she knows during this past year while they're not working, they went out and bought televisions. She said her boyfriend bought drugs, and all the free money enabled him to be a worse addict than he already was. Think about how much money that has been pumped into this economy went to drugs, it went to cryptocurrencies, it went to gambling into the stock market, it went into buying televisions, it went into buying massive cheap goods from Asia. I mean, this whole thing is a disaster. And as I sit here on the first day of August, I'm really losing hope where we're all going. It's going to really, we are going to pay an enormous price here. And it doesn't matter, how much money you have, how much food you have put away, how much preparation you have. We're all going to feel some amount of pain here. And we're going to come to a point where it's going to be very scary just to leave your house. I'm going to wrap it up right there, but as I leave, look, I don't know how you're going to keep this institutional money out of the housing market. The stock market's going to continue to go up as long as the Fed continues to be the buyer and seller of last resort. It's pumping in $120 billion a month by buying treasuries and mortgage-backed securities, and it's a lot more than $120 billion a month. So something is gonna have to give. I think that these markets are so artificial now. Again, I don't know. Don't have the answer. Let me know. Comment down below. Is the Fed going to get themselves out of this? Is all this institutional money, the Vanguards, the BlackRocks, the Blackstones, are they going to be in the housing market forever? Are Americans going to be renters? Times are changing. Please comment down below. Let me know what you see the future of the Federal Reserve, the stock market, and the housing market. Is it going to be controlled forever by institutional money, by the Fed? Is it going to be controlled forever? Or will all these markets collapse, destroying the Fed? Will it destroy a lot of institutional investment money? Will it destroy these large investment companies? What's the end game here? Comment down below. I'd love to know what you're thinking.